As you may know, the COVID-19 coronavirus has been affecting the entire globe. It's made people quarantine inside, and it has especially hit the United States harder than every country in the world. I'm not going to get into why, but it's the simple fact that coronavirus cases are rising in July, which is not good for the NFL. In my opinion, you have to be delusional to start the NFL season on time and think you're going to get away with preventing getting coronavirus. And there's many reasons why. This is definitely going to be a bad idea if they do start on time, September 9th or around that September 10th. So currently it is July 15th, and if you asked me personally, if you asked me in the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic when it was going to end, I'd say it would end in June, like honestly June. But as many of you know, it's been really bad recently in July. In specific states, it's been really good. It hasn't been that bad. But in other states like Arizona, it's just rising bad. And this is going to prove to be fatal for the NFL this season. Point number one, let's look at the NBA. In March, the NBA was suspended indefinitely because of one player having the coronavirus. One player. And that's really all it takes. One player, and then that one player affects the entire team. The entire team plays another entire team. They get infected. And by the end of, honestly, I'd say 3 weeks, I'd say every player in the NBA would have coronavirus. Like, no joke. But like I said, the NBA did suspend their season after Rudy Gobert did announce he had coronavirus, was one of the first players to get it. And that's really all you gotta need to know. Because as soon as one player in the NFL gets coronavirus, it's over. That player could be your starting quarterback, your best wide receiver, your best running back. They're going to have to quarantine. And the simple fact that if they have coronavirus, probably another player on their team is going to get coronavirus, and the rest of your team is going to get it too. And there you go. No more NFL. But I do like what the NBA is doing. They have every team and every player from every team that has a shot at making the playoffs quarantine in Orlando, Florida, in a bubble. So all of these players are corona-free. They're quarantined. And for the next 3 months, they will not be exposed to anybody outside the bubble. And I actually believe the NBA seasons, it's going to be really good. It's going to continue. I don't think there's going to be any problems with it. And the reason being, like I said, they're all quarantined in a small space in the same city. Every single NBA team, they're all in one space. But what does the NFL want to do? They want to have the NFL schedule like normal. They want to play every game where it's supposed to be played. Every city has their 8 home games and every city has their 8 away games, and that's all that matters. Because every NFL team is going to have to travel at least once in the first 3 weeks of the season, and that's honestly catastrophic. If they travel and somehow, it's not even hard to do. If they somehow get corona because they're traveling to another city, I honestly think it's very possible. It's whole team is going to get the virus. The team they play, a player that's covering them, a player that's tackling that player, gets the virus. And there you go. That team has corona, the other team has corona. Now, I do believe that the NFL was going to believe that coronavirus will be over by the start of the season. And in my opinion, and by research, it's definitely not going to be over. And it could be, even worse than it is in specific cities like Arizona where the Cardinals play. And that's definitely not good. So there are 2 solutions to this problem. But what is the problem? The problem is that cities and teams are going to be able to travel to other places, other cities to play other teams. Some stadiums are allowing fans to watch the games in the stadium. And there has been absolutely nothing done to prevent anything for the start of the NFL season. I've seen absolutely nothing by the NFL to prevent players from getting the virus. Solution number one, in my opinion, is 0 fans are allowed in the stadium. You never know. It's first of all, it could be bad if fans themselves, spread the virus to each other fans in the stadium. But somehow, in some way, there could definitely be some cross contamination between fans and players, and those players could definitely get the virus. Part of the solution, in my opinion, is playing in an enclosed area just like the NBA is. But at the same time, like if you ask anybody to do that, I honestly think that's a horrible idea. You probably think that's a horrible idea. Everybody playing in the same space and area, but also it does prevent the spread of the virus. It quarantines all the players, and I guess you can say another major problem with that is that there's definitely not one huge space where there's that many football fields, that many stadiums. That could be a problem. And the third thing that I have for my solution is to quarantine all the NFL players from the outside world. And I'd honestly say 2 weeks before the preseason starts, you already know the NFL did cancel weeks 1 and 2 of the preseason, but what's the difference between 1 week between weeks 2 and 3? There is none. Like where's the logic there? I would like to see all the teams in a confined area, but at the same time, I don't even think that's possible. And that's where the NFL has its problem, because they cannot do this. I believe the NFL season is going to be delayed. I'd honestly say till January, because there's no proof that they're ready to play without getting coronavirus. Like I said, all it takes is one player to get it, and you already contaminated the entire team and the team that you're playing against that week. The teams travel to other cities every other week, I'd say, and that's just not good. It's not good at all. It's really bad. Top 10 dumbest things I've ever heard is that the NFL is banning players at the end of the game from trading jerseys. Yet they're allowed to come in contact the entire game. Like, what? Where is the logic there? There is none. The NFL, in my opinion, is unprepared for their season to start. And it shouldn't be started unless they do what the NBA is doing, which is very smart. But like I said, that is a very hard thing to do, because there's not a very small confined space of area with at least 16 football stadiums and 32 practice fields that the teams need to practice on every week. That is just not good. You're also taking away home field advantage, which is very crucial in a matchup, especially for teams that could make the Super Bowl because they have favorable matchups on the road and at home. So if they take that away, it's just not good. So, what do you think is going to happen? I would like you guys to comment down below what you believe the NFL is going to do about this problem. I honestly think if they start the season on time, it's going to be a catastrophic failure. Many things are going to go wrong. I bet you half the players have corona by the end of week 5 of the season, and that's really all it takes. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like I said, comment down below what you believe. That's it. Adios.